Cherie Hansen here. I was thinking a lot about something that Mel Robbins said today, and I think it's really good to think about. And that is, how much do you want it? So I can fantasize about, being a well-published author, or doing something that will bring more joy in life toward me. But if I'm not working at it, now I want to talk to you about the difference between pushing and striving and worrying and opening a space for something to happen. One is relying on the outside world. It's, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to find somebody who's going to mentor me, take care of me, make sure all this stuff happens that I want to have happen. The other way is to create more space inside yourself. Open it up. So inside myself, making space for the feeling that I want to have by having these things happen. Now I'm in a place where I take action. If I just sit at home and don't try, and this is how I fool myself a lot, is I don't feel like it. I don't feel like going for a walk. I don't feel like using the weights. I don't feel like recording a YouTube. I don't feel like sending my writing out. But of course I do feel like watching Netflix for 5 hours. That's how we get trapped. We get trapped when we sabotage our own growth, because it's like Halloween. Your ego dresses up as a character. The ego is like at your door, and it's dressed up like a wizard or a fairy godmother or something like that. And it says to you, oh no, you shouldn't do that. It could be dangerous. You might fail. You might just expend all this energy and never get anywhere. And so kind of like the wolf showing up in sheep's clothing, the ego will show up and pull you back from the very things that you need to be doing in order to create a better life for yourself. So I watch so many people who do exactly what I do, which is, if I'm already hardwired for it, I'll do it. I will walk certain places and not other places. I will move objects around in my house, but not really get rid of stuff I don't need. I will do something that I've done 400 times before and it didn't kill me. Hey, I'm not dead, so it must be safe. And it's kind of like walking on ice on a pond. You take every step forward toward your goal, toward your skill building, toward your absolutely fabulous dream of who you really are underneath all of this anxiety and paranoia. And you're listening for the crack. You're listening for the ice to just break apart, and then you're going to fall in, and there's nobody there to pull you out, and you'll freeze to death and drown. Which one will happen first? I'm not sure. So I was thinking very much about that today, about how do we get around the ego dressed up as the wise one? How do we get around the fear we hold in our body to try something new, to do something new, to go for a longer walk, to lift a heavier weight? And I think what happens is we have to realize that self-sabotage will always show up dressed as the fairy godmother. Sparkly. Oh my God, look at that. There's a wand and glitter in her hair and she can swoop around. But we have to be very, very clear with ourselves about how much we want to upgrade. How much do you want to raise your vibration? Are you waiting for permission? Are you waiting for something outside of yourself to tell you that it's okay to try now? And this is something I can say as an 81-year-old. No effort you have ever used in your life has been wasted. No action has ever been wasted. No step forward has ever been wasted, because you always get something from trying. You always get a lesson. You always get stronger. You always get wiser. So I wanted to share that with you today because, as I watch other people, it's so easy when you're watching somebody else, like, why don't you do that? And they go like, but when we look at our own lives, we go, well, I didn't feel like it. Okay. But if you did it and it worked out, do you think you'd feel like it then? Maybe you would. Try it out. See what happens. I always say, if you're not dead, you've got opportunities in this life. I mean, I kind of believe that if you're dead, you have opportunities in the next life, but that's just me. So I want to say to you, I would really appreciate you subscribing to my YouTube channel. That would be Ducky. I would like it so much. Get a hold of me if you want a counseling session, a psychic reading, tarot card reading. We can sit down and work on your life contract and see what kinds of things you want to implement to help you get to a place where you're not self-sabotaging yourself at every turn. So you're climbing the rock wall with skill and you're not falling. And I also want to say thank you so much for stopping and watching my YouTube video. I appreciate you.